Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Daily Red Devil for all of your latest Manchester United transfer news and talk. Before we get into today's video, please do me a small favour. If you are watching for the first time, make sure to subscribe to the channel, bottom right-hand corner, and give the video a like. Let's try and see 500 likes on this episode today. On the show this morning, we're going to be talking about Ollie Watkins. Apparently, Ruben Amorim wants to sign the Aston Villa striker. We're also going to be talking about Mainoo, who apparently is of interest to Tottenham. What do you think about that? We're going to be talking about that. We'll also be talking about some outgoings as well. Bit of an update on Garnacho. Lots and lots to get involved in. The question I've got for you this morning, though, is in relation to Mainoo. Do you think Mainoo's future is at Manchester United? Get in the comment section now and let me know. Should we look to move on Mainoo? Let me know what you think in the comments. It's a pretty, I don't know if it's controversial, but it's a difficult conversation for sure. Someone who's come through the youth academy, someone who broke into the first team and for the first 6 months was undroppable. Played in a Euros final for England at the age of 19. But he doesn't really seem to fit in with Ruben Amorim's plans. Maybe that's right, maybe that's wrong, but Ruben Amorim doesn't seem to play him, does he? It's a difficult one. Under Ten Hag, he was played a lot. But there's a story coming out this morning saying, where's it gone? Saying about Tottenham apparently approaching Manchester United to try and sign Mainoo. How do we feel about that? When I was doing my research on the news for this morning's show, I saw this story pop up and I was like, Mainoo Tottenham, really? Obviously, there's talk of a new contract with Manchester United. But yeah, there's multiple different people saying that apparently Tottenham have inquired to try and sign Mainoo this summer. Effectively, because he hasn't agreed a new contract, he is available. It's coming out from multiple different people as well. Spurs have asked about signing Mainoo. It says the longer he goes without signing a new contract, the more likely it becomes a possibility that Mainoo will be sold. I mean, it's really difficult, isn't it? Because I think long-term, selling Mainoo would be a massive mistake. But it all really depends on Ruben Amorim, really. I don't know. It's difficult. It's really difficult. Because let's picture this scenario, right? We sell Mainoo to Tottenham. We start the season terribly, and by Christmas, Ruben Amorim's sacked. We bring in another manager who then plays 4-3-3, which probably is what would happen. I doubt we'd bring in another manager who plays the same formation as Ruben Amorim, realistically. So, let's picture it. Mainoo doesn't fit in Ruben Amorim's team. That's a fact. He doesn't suit one of the CDM positions, and I don't think he suits one of the central attacking midfield positions very well. He's better in a 4-3-3. Okay, so we all agree that. Well, I assume we all agree that Mainoo doesn't have a place in this team at the moment. I mean, he doesn't. He doesn't get picked. So it's not an opinion. It's a fact. He doesn't have a place. He's not starting. He's on the bench, right? Whereas under Ten Hag, he was playing every single game pretty much in that 4-3-3. Yeah. So, if Ruben Amorim is a success and he's here for the next 5 years, then Mainoo should probably be sold because he clearly doesn't fancy him. He doesn't get played, and he's a player who we could probably get 50 million for 100% profit, which could then be reinvested into players who actually suit the system or players that Ruben Amorim wants. But my kind of issue with this is, and by the way, I'm fully behind Ruben Amorim. I want him to be a success. Is what do we do if Ruben Amorim is sacked after 6 months and then we've sold Rashford, we've sold Garnacho, we've sold Mainoo, you know what I mean? We've sold all of these players who worked in the old system, the 4-3-3. What do we do then? That's my kind of one fear with this. Because I think if we were playing the old system of 4-3-3, I think Mainoo would start probably most games. But obviously Bruno Fernandes seems to start every single game, so he's going to play in one of those deeper roles. And then the other position is going to be either Mainoo or Casemiro. And then the two number 10s is going to be either Xerxes, Cunha, Mason Mount, Mbumo. There's 4 or 5 players who are going to start ahead of Mainoo in the central attacking midfield positions for Manchester United. And there's probably 3 or 4 players who are going to start ahead of him in the deeper lying midfield role. So it's a really, really difficult one, I think. And it's almost impossible to give a definitive opinion because we don't know what the future is going to hold. Obviously, I've asked the question, so I've got to give an opinion. I can't ask the question and not give an opinion. So, I think if Ruben Amorim is a success at Manchester United and is here for the long run, then you probably should move on Mainoo, maybe on Garnacho. They don't work in the team. But I'm not convinced that, I don't know. It depends on what we mean by a success. Like, do we really think that Ruben Amorim's going to get top 4 this season? I'm not convinced, realistically. Based off what we saw last season, we've signed 2 players. I don't think that's going to be enough to take us from 15th to 3rd. 2 players. When you see the business that Chelsea have done, you see the business that Liverpool have done, you see the business that Arsenal have done. I'm not convinced that signing 2 attackers is going to take us from our worst ever season to, take us from our worst season in Premier League history to our best, to jump that far up the table. Like, I just don't see it. I don't know. It's a really, really difficult question. Really difficult question. Like, I hope and pray that Ruben Amorim is a success and next season's amazing and we do really, really well and, everything's great and this is all just a horrible nightmare. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't have that much hope at the moment, realistically. So, yeah, I don't know. I do worry, that's the thing. I worry that we're going to sell all of our players that work in a 4-3-3. Ruben Amorim gets sacked in a couple of months, and then what do we do? What happens then? When we've sold all of our players who work in a 4-3-3, and we've got 7 central attacking midfielders, we've got wing backs, and we've got all these players that don't really suit the system anymore. What do we do then? So yeah, I probably wouldn't sell Mainoo. I think maybe next summer, say Mainoo doesn't play at all this season and Ruben Amorim has an amazing season and, say we get top 4 this season and Mainoo doesn't play at all, then maybe look to sell him then. But I think the likelihood is, I don't know, I don't want to sound negative, but the likelihood is we probably start the season badly and within the space of a month, there's probably people saying that Ruben Amorim should be sacked. That's probably the most likely scenario, realistically. And that's not being negative, it's just being realistic. When you see Liverpool signing Hugo Ekitike, Florian Wirtz, Frimpong and Kirkes, and they just won the league. You see Liverpool signing Gyökeres, Zubamendi, they've got Kepa, they've got like 6 or 7 players, Liverpool. Chelsea have bought 6 or 7 players. Man City have already bought loads of players. All of the other teams that we're competing with have bought 6 or 7 players, the other teams who will be in top 4. So I don't see how we're expecting to go from 15th to top 4 when we've signed 2 players. And we've also let Rashford go, Sancho's going to go, Anthony's going to go, Lindelof's gone, Eriksen has gone. We've actually got less players now than we did last season. So, yeah, I don't know. I probably would hang on to Mainoo for a bit. I think there's more of a conversation about how long, I feel negative saying this, but I think it is realistic. It's like how long Ruben Amorim will last in the job, realistically. I think that is a conversation we have to have. He only has, I think, 1.5 years left on his deal. If he starts the season badly, do we think they'll back him? I don't know. I don't know the answer. So, yeah, it's a difficult one. But apparently Tottenham want Mainoo, so we'll see what happens with that one. At the moment, it's just kind of initial talks. Tottenham trying to sign Kobbie Mainoo. Don't know how much he's worth. Maybe, 50 million, 60 million? Yeah, I'm honestly not sure. How much do we think Kobbie Mainoo's even worth? And obviously, let me know in the chat. Let's do a poll. Here we go. So we'll do this. Should United sell Mainoo? There you go, chat. Get yourselves involved in that one. Should United sell Mainoo? Alan says, Mainoo will have to adapt to Amorim's system. I get that, but where's he going to play in this system? He's not going to play in the deeper role. And he's not going to play as a number 10 because the number 10 positions, you've got Mbeumo and Cunha, who you've just signed. You've got Xerxes, who signed last season. You've got Mason Mount. There's probably some others I've forgotten about. There's maybe like 5 or 6 players ahead of him in the central attacking midfield role. And Bruno starts every single game, so he's not going to get into Bruno's position. And then alongside Bruno, you need a defensive player, and Mainoo's not defensive. So where is he going to play? That's more the question here. Where will he play? It's not a case of adapting. It's a case of I don't think he actually has a position in that team where he can play at the moment. Whereas in the 4-3-3, he played as one of the midfielders in the 3. And it worked quite well. Or the 4-3-2-1 or whatever, you know. But anyway, let's move on from there. Right, let's talk about Ollie Watkins then. What do we think about Ollie Watkins, by the way, chat? Are we interested in Ollie Watkins? Do you like Ollie Watkins? Like, let me know your thoughts. But there's a story this morning saying that apparently Manchester United want to sign a Premier League proven striker. I mean, that kind of limits our options. I mean, there's Ollie Watkins. I guess there's Nicholas Jackson. I mean, I don't really want to bring him into the conversation, but I guess we have to. I would take Ollie Watkins. It's just like, how much is that going to cost? There's people in the media quoting £60 million for Ollie Watkins, which seems ridiculous to me. £60 million for Ollie Watkins at the age of, I think he turns 30 next month. Yeah, I don't know. The fact that Aston Villa want to sell him as well, that kind of worries me. I mean, they probably want to sell him because realistically, they probably want to sell him because he's old and they think they can cash in on him. That's realistically like the only reason that I can think why they'd want to sell him. I mean, how does he do goals-wise? Let's have a little look. Let's have a look. Ollie Watkins. You know, I don't think he's like particularly prolific, to be honest. I'm not going to lie. He got 16 goals last season. He got 16 goals in the Premier League last season. I mean, it's not bad. The fact that Aston Villa paid 30... They didn't even pay... They paid 34 million euros for him 5 years ago. So what's that? Like 25 million pounds? And now they're asking for 60? I don't know. I'd probably take him if he was like 30 million or something, but I think 60 million is ridiculous for somebody who's nearly 30. I mean, to be fair, he averages like 15, 20 goals a season, which is decent, isn't it? I mean, that's really, really good in the Premier League. And the last 3 years, the least amount of goals he's got is 15 in the Premier League. He got 15, 19 and 16 in the Premier League, which is like, that is amazing, to be fair. But I would definitely rather go for someone younger, I think. You know, like a Sesko. Yeah, but we'll see. What does everyone think? Would you take Ollie Watkins? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I definitely would take him, but I just don't think 60 million is a reasonable price, realistically. They're asking for more than double what they paid for him. And this is a player who's about to turn 30 years of age. That's the bit that I don't really understand. At the end of the day, though, like, they are just starting the negotiations. It doesn't mean that Manchester United will pay 60 million. You know? But the fear I have is that Manchester United, historically, will always end up paying what the club wants. So it will start at 60, yeah? Man United will offer 30. They'll say no. They'll wait 2 weeks. Man United will offer 35. They'll wait another 2 weeks. They'll offer 40. And then before you know it, it will be deadline day and we'll pay, we'll pay the asking price. That's realistically what will happen. You know? So, yeah, I don't know. I would definitely take him. I just don't think he's worth 60 million. Someone says, would you take Darwin Nunez? Would I take Darwin Nunez? I mean, realistically, Darwin Nunez is better than Højlund, so would I take Darwin Nunez? Wow. That wasn't a conversation I was expecting to have this morning. If someone said it's Darwin Nunez or nothing, yeah, of course I would take Darwin Nunez. If it was him or nothing. But is he my dream signing? No, definitely not. Would I pay 60, 70 million or whatever it is that they're going to ask for him? Definitely not. But if you're just asking me, would I take would I take Darwin Nunez at Manchester United if there was no other option? Of course I would. Would I take Nicholas Jackson if there was no other option? Of course I would. We need a striker. It's as simple as that. So we can be on our high horses and say, I don't want Nicholas Jackson. I don't want Darwin Nunez. We need a striker. We needed a striker desperately. Like, we're crying out for a striker. Would I be happy with it? No, I wouldn't be happy. But would I take it if it was that or nothing? Yeah, of course I would. Because otherwise the alternative is that we have Rasmus Højlund as our striker again next season. So I don't mind Rasmus going out on loan or Rasmus being the backup. By the way, I'm not saying that if we sign Darwin Nunez, we're going to suddenly become a good team. You know, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that we need another striker. That's the priority position for me. But I mean, it's a bit of a relevant question anyway. We're not going to sign Darwin Nunez, you know. But yeah, my priority would be Benjamin Sesko. My original priority was Gyökeres or Osimhen. I think I said then maybe Jonathan David. So at the moment we're kind of down in the bottom of where our priorities were. You know, Benjamin Sesko was right at the bottom of the list. You know, Liam Delap was ahead of him. Jonathan David was ahead of him. Gyökeres was ahead of him. Obviously, Osimhen was ahead of him. So, yeah, we're kind of just like shopping in the bargain aisle now. If I had to pick somebody, if someone said you can only have one striker, who would it be? I'm going with Benjamin Sesko. I think he's the best option for sure. I would say Benjamin Sesko. But obviously, you can let me know your thoughts in the comment section, guys. Who would you go for? Who would you go for? Let me know. Right, let's see what else people are saying. I'm just going to have a sip of my tea. It always goes cold, my tea. Right. Alan says Nicholas Jackson is a younger version of Ollie Watkins. He runs the channels. It's what United need with two number 10s. Wow. There you go. We've got someone who's backing Nicholas Jackson. Melchett says that Jackson wouldn't be my pick, but he's criminally underrated and at this point is a better player than Sesko. I mean, I would definitely take Nicholas Jackson over Rasmus Højlund, 100%. 1,000%. So it's all good and well us being like, I don't want Nicholas Jackson. He's a Chelsea reject. I mean, the alternative is we start the season with Højlund as our striker. Unless Ruben Amorim is going to play Mbeumo as the striker or Cunha as the striker. But that might work for like 1 or 2 games, but we can't go into the season with central attacking midfielder being our striker. I mean, Man City won a league, didn't they, playing a false 9? So like it could work, but yeah, I mean, look at Højlund's stats are just awful. I'm sorry. Premier League goals last season, right? We're all sat here saying, oh, I don't know about Ollie Watkins. Ollie Watkins averages 15 to 20 goals a season. Rasmus Højlund got 4 goals last season in the Premier League. I mean, that's just, yeah. He has played as a striker before, Johnny, as a number 9 for Brentford. But this is what I'm saying. I'm not by any means saying that I want Mbeumo to be the striker. I'm saying that we can't start the season with Højlund as the striker. And we don't have any other strikers. Chido is not ready to play every game for Man United. You know, I know there's this hype around him. I know he's an exciting player. I know we all want him to do well, but Chido is definitely not ready to be the Man United striker at the age of, what is he, 18? It's just not going to happen, realistically, unfortunately. As much as I would like it to happen, I just can't see it personally. Maybe in 1 or 2 years, great. Bring him in, have him as the first choice striker. But I think at this moment in time, yeah, it's unlikely, guys. Right, let me see if there's anything else to talk about this morning. Let's see. Obviously, Rashford signed for Barcelona, which is good, I guess, that we don't have to talk about that anymore. So that's positive. Let me see what else there is. Yeah, so Rashford's gone to Barcelona, as we all know. Hopefully that deal becomes permanent. But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything for the show today, everybody. I hope you all have an amazing day. Do make sure to drop a like on the video before you leave. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. This has been Daily Red Devil, and I'll speak to you all on the next one. Bye for now, everybody. Have a good one, and I'll speak to you all later.